Hey guys, welcome to Pantomath's YouTube channel. Now that we have our first 19 posts on our Instagram account, I wanted to break down what's in a profile. So each profile has 3 slides: the dashboard, the compass, and the graphs. The format has changed a little since our first 3 posts, so I'm taking one of our newer posts as an example. First up, the dashboard. There are a couple I don't need to explain, so the name and the logo, and we're just going to skip right past those. Right beside the logo, we have the follower count and the growth metrics. This shows us how many people want to consume the content that's being posted. In this case, it's almost 4 million, and judging by their growth rate, it's probably reached and surpassed that. We gathered data for a period of about 6 months, at least for the follower count, and then we used a spreadsheet to calculate a rough growth rate. This number is how many followers they've gained as a percentage of the original, which is what we refer to as the Pantomath average, and that changes this graphic over here. Below that, you have 3 boxes. Let's start on the left, which is sort of the Social Blade box. You have 2 metrics here, the Social Blade rank and the engagement based on the last 20 posts. The Social Blade rank is essentially what position they're in from the list of most followed accounts on Instagram. That list is topped by Instagram, then Ronaldo, The Rock, Kim Kardashian, and Kylie Jenner. Below that is the engagement rate that's on their Social Blade profile, which is based on the last 20 posts. The engagement rate is how many likes there are against how many followers there are. Of course, people who aren't followers do like those posts, but we ignore that because math. Next box has who owns it and where it's based out of. We have a few categories for owners: public distributed, public concentrated, privately owned, and state owned. Public distributed means that the shares of the news agency are traded in the stock exchange, and the stocks are held by a number of people. Therefore, there's no single individual who owns it, or no single group, or no single family. Public concentrated means that the shares are still traded, but one family or individual owns a large percentage of the news agency. Privately owned is self-explanatory. One person, one family, or one group owns it. State-owned means that it's owned by the government. Finally, we have the engagement box. We looked at everything that each source had posted in a week, and we recorded how many likes it had. Then we calculated the engagement rate. The max engagement rate is the highest value from all of those posts, and the min rate is the lowest. Next slide. There's 2 parts to this slide: the bias slider and the list of genres. The slider is really essential when it comes to figuring out which news sources you like and how stories would be told or retold, because each side has different values. I'm not going to get into what the terms used in the compass mean, but I'll link a video in the card above, and I'll leave links in the description. That being said, I will clear up something that cropped up in a conversation I had earlier. When we say right or left on the extremes of the slider, this does not mean extreme on the political spectrum as a whole. When we say right or left in terms of the slider, that means they show consistent reporting on one side of the spectrum, not that they're fascist or communist. Left or right-leaning means that they show a tendency to report on one side more than the other, but they may change their reporting a little here or there. Finally, center means they show reporting that falls on both sides, or they don't show any real This information was gathered from all sides and Media Bias Fact Checked, which will both be linked in the description. Finally, we have the genres. This list is obviously short and sort of incomplete. It's important to know that it only reflects the Instagram account for the source. The reporting on their main or most common medium, like their TV channel or a newspaper or website, will be different. I think each one is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to move on to the last slide. This slide is all about medium. Remember earlier when I said we took down the likes for each post? I did the same for what medium they were, so IGTV, single slide posts, multi-slide posts, or videos. I should clarify the difference between videos and IGTV. Videos refer to the regular Instagram videos that appear on the feed, so under a minute long. IGTV is Instagram's space for long-form content, which is content between a minute and 60 minutes or an hour long. We condense that data into percentages and then a donut chart, so it's easier to read and also because it looks prettier. The last element is the column graph of engagement. Because we had the number of likes for each of the posts and what medium they were, we were able to figure out the engagement for each of the media types. For this specific post, you can see that their IGTV posts did really well. So to close everything up, there's a lot you can learn by doing all this research. We gathered so much data. There was actually a whole lot we didn't or couldn't use. It took up too much space, or it was irrelevant, or it just didn't really make sense. Sometimes it was a combination. It says a lot about how we consume media as a whole, and there's so much more we could learn if we had access to things like demographic statistics and funding, but those take a lot of time to gather and so much energy, and we don't even have access yet. I want to thank everyone for watching this video and for supporting Pantomath. It really lifts our spirits that we're reaching so many people. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.